Hello, everybody, girls and guys. I know it's been a long time. I think you guys thought something that I probably gave up. And I just been really busy and having a lot of things going on with my family and trying to get yard work done. And so anyways, I hope everybody's doing good. There's a little bit, I was going to come out on June 15th and talk about summer because, you know, it's been 4 years and it's very, very sad that there's still no answers in the Summer Wells case. But, you know, somebody comes out and puts another thing out there that, oh, there might be a tip in the Summer Wells case and that, you know, it could be a robbery gone wrong. Well, I don't believe that for a minute. You know why? I don't believe that it's a robbery gone wrong. How do you do a robbery gone wrong when everybody's home? Grandma's home, mom's home, all the boys are home, and 20 dogs on the property. And I don't care what you heard if Don Wells said that the dogs were gone that day. They were not. I'm talking about Summer Wells, who went missing from ROGERSVILLE, Tennessee. She was a little 5-year-old at the time. She, you know, just a sweet little blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girl, just getting started in life, you know, gonna start kindergarten the next year. And all her family's home, and her mom and dad are trying to say that somebody kidnapped Summer. Summer Wells is her name, and she's from ROGERSVILLE, Tennessee, and in the area of Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road. Her parents are Don and Candace Wells. If you know anything about this little girl being missing, she's been missing for 4 years. She went missing June 15th. Please call TBI, 1-800-TBI FIND. But anyways, yeah, everybody's been concerned about Summer Wells. And now you guys know that the likelihood of her being alive is very slim. I mean, 4 years. And what's really sad and hard to even comprehend, because she's been gone 4 years, even when they find her body, I don't know if they'll find much that they could use to prosecute whoever did this. But you know, I want to say that God answers prayers. Yes, my God, your God in heaven answers prayers, because Susan Morphew, who was a woman who went missing in Colorado, was she went missing and they couldn't find her, and they tried to convict her husband and they couldn't at the time because they didn't have a body. But then they found Susan Morphew's body, and now they have indicted Barry Morphew. And I'm telling you guys, this is an answer to prayer. You know, so many people been praying, and I believe God hears our prayers. And I'm just so thankful that he heard our prayers regarding Suzanne Morphew, and I want to see justice for her. Now, grand jury indicted Barry Morphew, but we have to wait until the court, because everybody's innocent until proven guilty. So when they bring him to trial, then we'll hear you know, see what happens. But I really believe that they'll be able to prosecute him and he'll be found guilty. That's just my opinion, in my opinion only. So we have to remember that obviously God is hearing our prayers. Not just my prayers, not just your prayers, but all kinds of people been praying for Susan Morphew. And all kinds of people love and been praying for Summer Wells. And I truly believe that one day something will happen where they'll find Summer Wells and that somebody will be indicted, I hope. I mean, I seen Don Wells on the news, Summer Wells' father. I seen him on the news, and the 4-year anniversary of Summer going missing. He really didn't look sad to me. I also, well, let me just say this. Don's face was really fat and swollen, and I think it's because of his alcoholism. And let me say this too. He came on and said and showed these court papers that him and Candace were not found, didn't have any abuse charges against them or neglect and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Let me explain something to you. When you give up the rights to your children because the state has removed them from your custody, you either have to sign off or they press charges and prosecute you. And so this is just a formal way, I believe, that they're just saying this because Don and Candace gave up their rights, so therefore they cannot be charged in court for that. But, if they find out that they hurt Summer Wells, now that's a whole different case, which I believe they will. So don't buy Don's bullcrap stories, and don't buy that, oh, this was a robbery gone wrong. No way. Not with grandma there, not with mom there, not with 3 boys there, and 20 dogs. Bull crap. You're not going to tell me that. I truly believe that Don and Candace either sold Summer to someone or they harmed her and had to get rid of her to hide her. These are just my opinions only, but I truly believe that. And I heard Don Wells saying, oh, well, the police aren't nice to us. Well, no, they're not nice to you. They don't get along with you because they know that you did something to Summer, and they truly believe that you sold your daughter, Don Wells. And that's just the talk of the police, and you're out of your own mouth, Don Wells, because you're the one who told us that the police and the TBI truly believe that you trafficked your daughter, Summer Wells. And the way that you talked, boy, the way that Don Wells talked, if you remember, right out of the gate, Don brings up all this sexual stuff. He talks about, that she's being in some motel with some weirdo. Well, I believe he knew that Summer was in some motel with some weirdo, because I believe he sold her. And it probably happened in Jonesboro, and I wouldn't doubt that Candace and her mother took Summer to meet Don in Jonesboro, or Don Wells. People have said that he was home early, and he could have taken her out of there for Candace. I mean, there's no other way that things, the animals and the people weren't alerted at the house. So it's a bullcrap story. It's a narrative that they put out that they want people to believe, but it's not true. And Summer, I don't believe she helped plant any dang flowers, and if she did, it wasn't that dang. And I don't believe that the dogs were gone, and I believe that the grandma and the mother and Candace know exactly, and Don know exactly what happened to Summer Wells. And I'd like to see some closure in this case. I haven't really kept up with a lot of people or a lot of YouTubers. I haven't talked for a long time, and I haven't really been keeping up, but I know. I mean, I watch the news a lot, and once in a blue moon I check and see if there's any info on Summer Wells. But there's just not a whole lot to talk about, to say about Summer Wells. It's really hard and sad that she's been gone this long. I really believe there would be closure by this time, but there's not. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to come. We know, all of you know, we've been watching the videos of these two parents making themselves out to be a fool. We've been seeing all their antics, their drunken, weird actions. And so we know who these people really are, who Don and Candace really are. And I believe they did something very bad. And that's why Summer Wells is no longer around. But, you know, we can't give up hope because you know what? Josie, they're all, believe it's their, you know, the oldest child that was living in the home. They had 3 boys and they all got taken away. And the one is being put up for adoption. And I believe that they're old enough to talk now. A couple of them are old enough where they can explain and understand. And that's what we need to pray for, that those boys, that they'll come out and they'll talk about this. So, because it's been too long, you know, it's just been too long. And I hope those boys do say something about their sister and what happened to her. But yeah, I don't buy this robbery bullcrap gone wrong. What does Don and Candace even have that you would want to rob them for? And why would you, it looked like a junk hole there. Excuse me and sorry, but that's just my opinion. It looked like a flop house, you know, and a drug house. And why would anybody really want to go there? I mean, what are you going to steal? Maybe a couple frozen meals. I don't know, one of their dogs. It's stupid. It really is. But like I said, I have not been keeping up with everything because most of it's just bull crap and nonsense anyways. There's nothing that has been brought forth that has been real or real facts in the Summer Wells case. So that's what I got to say about that. And, yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't been on here, you guys. I have been doing a lot of yard work. I got my garden in. My granddaughter graduated, and we're getting ready to have a party for her. And my brother came from Florida, and he's been staying with us. So I've had a lot going on in my life lately. But I'm doing good. And, you know, I'm happy. I'm feeling all right. Just keeping the peace. You know, there's so much trouble in the world going on right now. There's war, and there's riots, and there's crazy things going on. But, you know, I try to keep a peace of mind and not get too crazy involved with it or worry about it too much. But there's just so much bad things that are happening to these children. And they're making a lot of arrests. I've been seeing the news lately that they've broken up a lot of trafficking rings, arrested a lot of them. And so I'm grateful for that, you know. But yeah, we're all doing good at my house. We're just taking it easy, doing our normal things we normally do, fixing up the yard. I'll have to take you outside and do a video outside so you can see my flowers are doing good. But it's been rainy and dark all day today. Tomorrow's supposed to be pretty hot, about 92 or 94, and that's pretty warm. So I don't know all I will do tomorrow, but I don't know. I might be in the air conditioning. I can't really handle the heat very much. I would never be able to live like in Florida or someplace like that because my body is used to Michigan, you know. I've been living here my whole life, And I love Michigan. I love all the Great Lakes. I like to fish a lot. And, you know, I like the changing of the seasons, you know, because we get nice days that are nice and cool, and then we get days that are really warm, but in the summer, but we get a nice breeze, and I live out by the woods, so I love that. I love how everything turned green and everything's blossoming, and we're in summer, but you know, this month went by fast already. I mean, June's almost gone. It's crazy, you guys, how time flies. I guess when you're having a good time, right? I really missed all of you, and I'm thinking about you. And if you got anything you want to talk about, leave me some comments. Don't leave me nasty comments, because I'm not being nasty to anyone, but please, you know, say hi. I love hearing your comments. I love seeing you guys on there, and I do try to interact with all of them. You know, I try to message you guys back when I hear from you or like it or say something to you, because I really appreciate it, you know. I love to hear your opinions and what you think about what's going on with Don and Candace and Summer Wells. And, you know, they're still searching for Sebastian Rogers, who is missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. And he's a 15-year-old autistic boy. And his parents say that he must have just walked out the door, though they have no proof that he walked out the door. They didn't see him walk out the door. They didn't hear him walk out the door. And he left his shoes, and he left his phone, and everything else. Same similar story, you know. Oh, I guess the boogeyman got all these children, right? The parents were the last ones to see these kids. And then, you know, they just disappear off the face of the earth. No. I know that these parents know what happened to Sebastian Rogers. I know what Don and Candace, Summerwell's parents, know what happened to her. I mean, anymore, I really don't believe very many parent stories, because, you know, they always turn out like this, that the parents are the guilty ones, that they did do something to their children. So, you know, I just don't believe any parents hardly anymore. I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope they find Sebastian Rogers too. And I'm praying, and I believe that I really don't believe that he's still around either. I believe that he's gone, and that his parents know what happened to him. Not his father, but his stepfather and his mother know what happened to Sebastian Rogers. I believe that. It's just my opinion. But, you know, don't trust the story when you get it, because when the parents put out their narrative, you know, you can't trust really even nothing from the initial story of when the child went missing. We don't know. I mean, like, Sebastian could have went missing way earlier. He could have maybe never came home from the Texas Roadhouse. I don't believe Summer Wells ever came home from swimming that day. And that video of her in the vehicle. And I don't believe she ever came home that day. She didn't plant no flowers. She didn't go down in the basement. I don't believe she was playing in the yard. The boys would have really knew something, and they really would have been more talkative about it, but they didn't know. And it wasn't just because they were on their video games. I really, truly believe they did not see her. And I believe that Candace and Don are lying. It's my own opinion, for what it's worth. I don't know. I've stuck to the same feelings, the same strong conviction. I have believed all along, and I haven't changed, that these parents of Summer Wells, you know, did something very bad. And I'm not switching to any stories or telling you that somebody else or this one did this and this one's guilty. I mean, there's so many people that lived on that road, but I will say this again. Why would anybody on Don and Candace's road, Beach Creek, Ben Hill Road, take Summer Wells? Why would they do it when everyone was home and the dogs and the kids and the grandma? Why would they do it then? These people had their own children around them. They lived on that road for years. You don't think that, why would they take her now? And she looked like a little boy because her head was completely shaved. They shaved her head. And she could have looked just like one of the boys. They wouldn't even known. A kidnapper. And I just don't believe that anybody on the road did this, that lived around there. I truly believe that Don and Candace sold her or hurt her. And that those are the only two options here. And I believe the grandma knows. I don't know why they don't haul her back over here to Tennessee and question her again. And Candace and Don, they all need to be questioned again. And they need to do more searches for Summer Wells. That's my feelings. If I lived there, I'd be doing them all around by that house, nearby, on all them roads, over and over again. But like I said, it is a big possibility that Summer was taken from Jonesboro, because I believe Candace and Grandma met him there. That's why they had to get rid of Dudley. Don, the father of Summer Wells, he fired a guy that was working for him doing drywall. He fired him the day before Summer Wells went missing. And I believe it's because Don did not want any kind of witness or anybody to know what he was doing. And I believe when that guy that he fired named Dudley said that Don was crying on this tub or toilet or whatever at work, like he just looked like he lost his best friend. And that was the day before Summer went missing. So I believe that this was arranged and planned, premeditated, what happened to Summer Wells. And I do believe that Protective Services had something to do with it, that they knew that they were going to lose her, and so they got rid of her. Because Protective Services had an open case, whether Don wants to say it was closed or not. Don Wells said the case was closed, that they were there a few days before that. And he even tried to blame the social worker and say she took Summer Wells. But no, I believe that they were gonna lose Summer, and they had to prove something, or she had to go to a doctor or something. And they got scared, and they got rid of her. So, like I said, these are just my opinions only. But I'm just really happy tonight and thanking God that Barry Morphew was indicted by a grand jury. And I believe God hears our prayers, and he will answer in Summer Wells' case. I know this is late, you guys. I am a night owl. I cannot help it. I like to stay up when the dog's sleeping so that I can get my stuff done, because he really tears up my house a lot. So I know I'm just moving this camera around because I don't want you to get bored with the scenery. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing good. I've been thinking about you and really wanting to do a video, but I just been, procrastinating. So anyways, you guys, I'm thinking about you. I'm thankful for all my subscribers, and I'll try to do another video soon. That's all I can say, because I don't know, you know, if we don't hear anything or see anything, there isn't a whole lot to talk about. But if you want me to talk about other things, I will. Let me know in the comment section. And I love all you guys, and I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying their summer so far. All right, good night. God bless you. Love you. Bye.